Welcome. In front of me I have the HUAWEI P50 Pocket, and today I'll go over unboxing along with an overview of this phone. So anyway, let's just get started. So nothing up here. Then we get the phone, obviously. That feels a little bit weird. I'm gonna check it out later. We get the little notifications right here that we don't have App Store, so instead you need to use App Gallery and Phone Clone. Now, Phone Clone is a good way to get apps that aren't on the App Gallery by simply downloading them on an older device, a different one, then getting also their Phone Clone app and simply moving over the entire app along with all of its data to this phone. And even though App Gallery doesn't have it, you can just kind of copy it. Here we got an eject tool, and it looks like some nice looking case. Gonna check it out. Oh, okay. We're just gonna put this to the side for now. Get some instructions right here. Some more paperwork, and yep, that's about it. Now that's interesting that we still get a charger. I think I also mentioned that in the unboxing for the just a normal P50. I think the reason why we get chargers with this phone, the HUAWEI specifically, is because they give zero Fs about well, US laws for not including chargers. It's China, so they do whatever they want, and thus inclusion of a charger, because screw US, I guess. Now, I'm not gonna complain. It's a decent charger, to be honest. It's a 40-watt charger, so nice that they included it. At least you don't need to get one. And the cable is Type C to Type A, still with this purple little plugs right here. Now, one thing to note, those cables with the purple fillings right here will not work too well with, for instance, something like a Samsung device, and that is something that I encountered as an issue plenty of times. So, as an example, if you use this to plug in your Samsung phone to your computer and you try to move data, from what I remember, it doesn't really work too well. Now, that's basically all we get in here. So let's move over to the actual phone. Interesting. So let's turn it on. Additionally, gonna kind of dry apply this case, see how it kind of fits in. There we go, that's kind of how it looks like. Honestly, looks okay. Kind of takes away from the design of the back, because this is just plastic, while if you look at this isn't like flat. It's basically the same texture as you can see, so that's kind of neat. I kind of like this, though. Yeah, it's barely feelable, especially when you're holding the phone like this. You're not moving your fingers through it. You can't really feel the texture on the back. Anyway, let me just quickly go through the setup right here. For some reason I need to connect to Wi-Fi, which... why? Oops. Now it's missing the Wi-Fi that I want to connect to, so anyway, I'm gonna try this one. Okay, there we go, connected. Okay, so now that I'm all close to finished with the setup, oops, yep, we'll leave. I'm gonna quickly go over the specs. So wait, let me just quickly check something, if I'm feeling this correctly. These come off. There we go. And the phone is kind of heating up from just the setup. Though it's nothing substantial, but you can still feel it. Okay, so there we go. So you can see there is our home screen. So right here we're looking at a foldable OLED display running 120 Hertz. It's a 6.9 inch display. Nice. And it has an 85.1% screen to body ratio with 442 pixels per inch. So this is a decent display. Go, let's just quickly go through this. Cool. And then we also have this 1.04 inch display right up here. If I close this, it lights up. And damn, that display looks crisp. Damn. It almost looks like a sticker because it's so close to the actual glass right here. It just doesn't feel too, it feels like a sticker basically when you're looking at it. Almost feels fake. So anyway, that's a 1.04 inch display with a resolution of 340 by 340, giving it about a 328 pixels per inch, though this is calculated based on the square, and we don't really have a square right here, we have a circle, so expect a little bit lower than 328 pixels per inch. So anyway, let's move over. We are running a Harmony OS right here, and this is for China. We are running an EMUI 12 on Europe, but with no Google Play services. Now EMUI, I believe it's what it refers to is just running the typical Android. And I can quickly check it hopefully. So if I go into About Phone, we are looking right here at, so we are running EMUI instead of the Harmony OS. So yeah, this is the Android version of, or at least what I would expect to be Android. And I can still feel the warmth right here. So anyway, let's move over to the cameras. So as you can see, we have several cameras right here, more precisely 3, and that's all you get right here, plus 1 inside. So in terms of the outside cameras, we are looking at 40 megapixel wide sensor, 30 megapixel ultra wide, and 32 megapixel wide. So we have 2 wide ones actually, and 1 ultra wide. And with those cameras, you can shoot at 4K, 30, 60 frames, obviously 1080p, 30, 60, 120, and 240. Now 120 actually might be just a slow motion, although I have no actual clue, haven't tested those cameras, so let's see. So that's going to be under video, I believe, or more. Slow motion panel, go slow motion, cool, and we're looking right now at 32. Okay, so this is continuous. If we go to video resolution, 1080p, frame rate 60. So yeah, like I mentioned, the 120 Hertz is just a slow motion. And furthermore, if you're planning to, I believe, do the 120, anything above the 32 times, I think you need to change the, oops, not this, the resolution. So right now it's 1080p 960 frames actually. And that kind of gets messy, I guess. There we go, 120, 240, 960. Now let's see, if we do this, it is continuous. 8 times, still continuous. 32 times. Scanning for moving objects. So if you're planning to capture a 920 or was it 60 frames, you're looking at only a motion captured one where it detects motion and starts recording for, I believe it's like a second. Now that 1 second in 920 frames gives you, I think, like 10 or 20 seconds, something along those lines. So anyway, so that's the camera at the back, and at the front we're looking at what is it, 10.7 megapixels with ultra wide sensor. No, that's video. There we go. Beauty mode, definitely off. I prefer to be ugly. Okay, there we have also the mirror reflection, so you can pick which one you want. I'll go with this one. And Jesus, the amount of pop-ups right here is insane. There we go. It looks pretty okay, obviously. And let's actually look at the back ones as well. So the plant looks really sharp, obviously. Oops, let me move it a little bit down. So there we go. Now the photos are great. Now obviously I'm not gonna go into like super in-depth photo shoot right here. I don't really do that. I wouldn't really know how to actually go about it, to be honest. So I'm just gonna leave this and move on. Now in terms of other, whoa, this is actually again getting warm just from doing simple tasks like as an example processing video or photos. It's really weird. Like you can feel it being warmer than what you would expect a phone to be, especially from doing some like minuscule tasks. Anyway, so in terms of other specs right here, we're looking at actually a Snapdragon 888, which is surprising considering usually Huawei was using their Kirin, and I believe their P50 was running a Kirin. This one apparently is running a Snapdragon 888, so that's a little bit weird. I don't know if I can actually check this. Go to phone, is it showing me what's running on it? Nope, it does not. So anyway, I'm just gonna move on, disregard this. I mean, apparently it's running Snapdragon 888. Now, in terms of storage, you can see right here, this is the 8GB RAM version, though there's also a 12GB RAM. So you have choices right there. And in terms of storage, if I find my little SIM eject tool, there we go. Let's see. It says it has a nano memory expansion. Yep, so that probably will not be very visible, although I'll try. No, it's actually getting there. So right here we have SIM 1, this is SIM 2, and also doubles as a nano memory. So you can use one SIM card and one memory card, or just two different SIM cards. Obviously, because this is using nano memory, it's their like proprietary memory format, which is the same size as a SIM card, the smallest version of it. And obviously they also come at a little bit more premium cost than what you would get when buying just a typical SD card. On one hand side, it's I guess kind of annoying that you need to pay extra and need to get another memory card that is only utilized by Huawei devices. Nothing else that I'm aware of uses nano memory. But on the other hand side, this is kind of like a premium device which comes with storage expansions. So that's a little bit more rare. If you look at, for instance, Samsung, they only have SIM cards, no SD card trays. especially the S lineup. So it's kind of like a positive along with a negative. So take that as you may. Now moving on, we are looking at a 4000 milliamp hour battery in here. So fairly decent size for a phone that is foldable and looks fairly slick, to be honest. It's not like super girthy when folded. You can see it looks really nice. One thing that I have to say I really like, when it folds, as you can see there is no crease right here. Some phones kind of fold like in the way that they're like a wedge almost. This just kind of slaps together really nicely. And additionally, one thing that I will mention, the hinge. It has a fairly nice tension on here. It's nothing really substantial, but it does have a nice tension. But once you pass that tension, it just glides. Like, this is super smooth. It's easier to open it than close it, which also something that I'll point out. And yeah, it feels really nice compared to other like foldable devices with their hinges. This is really nice. So yeah. Anyway, let's keep on going. So right here we have that cover display, and let's see what we get on here. We have a music player, we have a camera. There we go. Nice photo. We have weather. And looks like that's about it. So yeah, we have notifications if you pull down. And we have music player, camera, weather, and that's it. Now I assume you might be actually able to add some more widgets to here, or however you want to call those, in the settings for probably this display. At least that's what I'd assume. And I'm guessing, so I might be wrong. Like you've seen, this is the first time I'm using this device. You'll most likely see some more info about this in like future videos here. But anyway, so yeah, finishing this off, it's a fairly nice design of the phone. I kind of like it. Like the back, not my style, but still like it. The cameras, the display right here is really nice. It's surprisingly nice. I'm still kind of like baffled by how it looks like. And overall design is really nice. Now the price tag of this phone is wow. That is that's one of those hard pills to swallow kind of things. So apparently it costs 1,300 euros or $1,800. Now it doesn't really specify dollars, and it might be Canadian dollars. That's why it's so expensive. I doubt it's US dollars, to be honest. But yeah, still, phone over 1,000. And if I have to kind of like compare this, it is competing against the Samsung Z Fold. I think it was called. Basically the same kind of design. It just folds. I believe Samsung is a little bit wider, and I don't remember if it had 120 Hz, so obviously Samsung might be a little bit outdated by now because it came out a year ago or so. I believe they might be actually probably soon releasing a new one if they already haven't announced one. So yeah, that being said, Samsung was cheaper, was more at an affordable price, especially for a foldable design. It was one of the cheapest ones on the market. And this is trying to compete with it, but decided to say, nah, screw it. We're just gonna give our nice premium price tag to this, even though we don't include any Play services. So yeah, it might sell good in China and places that don't really care about Play services, but I believe countries that do rely on Play services or are really used to them. I mean, for the most people, Play services are just an essential thing. Majority of us are probably using Gmail. And we strongly rely on things like Google Maps that actually work fairly well, and other services from Google that we came to be fairly accustomed to. So having a phone without those might be a hard switch, especially when it comes down at a price like this. So yeah. Anyway, getting kind of like past the price, the phone itself works fine. It's a really nice phone to hold in hand. Feels nice and snappy. Obviously it's running the newest it's actually a generation behind now, almost the newest Snapdragon, and yeah, it's fairly nice, to be honest. That's basically all I can say. If you don't look at the price tag, obviously. If you look at the price tag, that's when things start to kind of fall apart, because at this price, I would probably advise you to just drop to Samsung instead. It will be a little bit more dated at this point, but if you're looking for a foldable clamshell design like this, you're overpaying right here for kind of like losing some features, and you still need to pay more for that, which kind of resembles like computer building. You want to go small, but you need to pay more for less. This is kind of the same thing here, though it might have better cameras than Samsung, and that's about it. I'm guessing. I haven't tested that, haven't even had, actually no, I did have the Z Fold, but yeah, like I mentioned, it's an older device, so yeah. Anyway, this would conclude the overview of this phone. It's a nice one, but like I said, price tag is a little bit too high in my opinion. So if you found this very helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.